everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is November 26th, 2020, and these are the top stories of the day. Before we kick things off, though, I want to say Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you all have a fun, safe, maybe small event, whether it's a lunch or a dinner, but enjoy your time, be it with family or close friends. Keep safe, have fun, and hopefully also have a nice weekend. I'm thankful for you watching, those that comment, those that don't comment, first-time viewers, or folks that have been here since the very beginning. I'm thankful for all of you. Of course, I'm thankful for my family, including my wife, son, daughter, my parents, my extended family and closest friends, my students. As a university professor, I have plenty of students. I'm thankful for them and my fellow educators, my fellow university professors, and a lot for the video game industry, for film, for good people. I hope that we have a healthy remainder of 2020 and that 2021 things are better yet. Let's stay well, stay smart, stay patient, and hope for the best outcome for the world in terms of general safety, health, economy, and so forth. Keep happy, spread the love, smile, and let's work together to have the best, not just video game world community, but the best world community as possible. All right, now let's get into business. Thank you for listening to that. Pokemon had a cool tweet this morning, and that is the following. Need one more thing to be thankful for today, trainers? Our Pokemon 25th anniversary celebration kicks off in 2021. Stay tuned for more details. Wink. Hashtag Pokemon 25, and then here you have Pikachu's tail with a cool new Pokemon logo. His little red cheeks instead are 25, and it says train on. I also have an image of this a little bit closer, zoomed in. It's kind of crazy because, man, does time go by fast. In 2016, we were celebrating Pokemon's 20th anniversary. You remember? We had that big Super Bowl Pokemon ad, and it was pretty powerful. And, then Pokemon Go came out that year. I had a dual-themed pumpkin carving. I had Pikachu on one side and the Nintendo Switch logo on the other side with Joy-Con because, Nintendo Switch was coming out in just a few months. And here we are, 5 years later almost. In a couple more months, it'll be the 25th anniversary. We already know that new Pokemon Snap is coming out probably in 2021, so that's cool. But what else? They said some exciting things are in development. Another new game, a remake of something old, anime related, new live action movie perhaps. We'll see. Something's happening, but I'm pretty excited as a longtime Pokemon fan. And, as a matter of fact, now, spreading this old passion onto my kids. My son just turned 6, November 20th, and his theme was Pokemon. His birthday theme was Pokemon, and it was a, drive-by social distance mask-wearing party, but it was still good and a lot of fun. And it's neat that something that, I was around, that was around for me when I was a kid, is now just as relevant today for my own kids, including my daughter, who will be 4 in March next year. So that's pretty cool. Also, a little bit of news on top of this. Pikachu will be at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. He's been there since 2001, so the 20th time appearing. Pretty cool. So congratulations, Pokemon and Nintendo, and I can't wait to see what comes in 2021 from the Pokemon Company. Moving along, we have some PlayStation news. Now, we don't have an official number to work with yet, but sources say that close to 2.5 million PS5s have been sold worldwide. What we do know is that they are all sold out. That's the official statement from Sony. We hear from different groups saying that it's higher than any PS launch in the past in its first opening, worldwide debut week. So that means it beats out heavy hitters like PS2 and PS4, and that's pretty impressive. VGCharts.com is on top of that story of around 2.5 million, and that fits well with some other reports. So it really looks like we might have a very large debut for PS5. Of course, Xbox, Microsoft announced the biggest Xbox launch. Sony did have to come out and say, there will be more coming out. There will be another shipment. They're going to try to do something in the last 5 weeks of the year. So if you have your heart set on a PS5 and you can wait a little bit and avoid paying double or more on the aftermarket, second-hand market, you could wait and you'll find one. Still be scarce, but still possible. So congratulations on a successful launch. It's going to be very interesting to see how the PS5's November numbers stack up against Xboxes and of course Nintendo Switch, which is definitely still on a roll. And speaking of sales, it is Thursday morning, so we have our Famitsu Sales, once again provided by Chris1964 from the ResetEra.com forum, so thank you. First, we're going to check out software. Coming in at number 1 this week is Momotaro Dentetsu, which had a huge opening of 345,697 copies sold. This is really big, and we heard from Konami that its first week sales, including physical and digital, everything combined, is over 500,000. So this is a little title that's definitely going to hit 1 million lifetime. Hopefully it has good legs and could push well past 1 million. Also new this week and coming in at number 2 in Japan is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, a second game for Nintendo Switch with a strong 173,215 copies sold. Coming in at number 3, Animal Crossing. It's entering its first holiday, and with that entrancy is 37,000 for the week, respectable number, up 14% from the previous week, and now it officially hit 6 million copies sold just physically. When you count digital, the thing is, an 8 million seller already in Japan, and it's going on its way to, probably topping 32 million by the end of 2020 worldwide speaking. Wild. Number 4, Ring Fit Adventure with 36,000, up 50% from its previous week, now at 1.8 million in Japan. Nintendo is definitely going to hit hard with stock because last year when this came out, they didn't anticipate just how well it was going to do, and the fact that it's got legs that are lasting this long for this type of title is beautiful. There's also a Ring Fit Adventure hardware bundle, so that's extra attractive. And number 5 is a physical Fortnite The Last Laugh bundle with 31,000. The solo PS4 game on this chart is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Had a 70% drop from the previous week. 25,000 is what it did this week. Number 7 is Pikmin 3 Deluxe with 24,000. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had a good jump of 31%, doing 13,000 for this week. Number 9 is Super Mario Party, a whopping 179% jump. You can't see it because of my photo there, but a whopping 179% jump from the previous week, and that's just insane. That's because it's the holidays, and Nintendo titles and Pokemon titles, Mario titles, they do very well during the holiday season. And coming in at number 10 is Pokemon Sword and Shield, the expansion pass version, which takes the expansion pass into consideration for either Sword or Shield that you're picking up, and it did 43,000, which is pretty crazy. Sorry, it did 11,000, bringing its total for just that bundle to 43,000. And yeah, you can see the split. Nintendo Switch 9, PS4 1, no PS5 games in this top 10, no Xbox games in this top 10. Hardware, let's check it out right now. Pretty interesting week. This is really the beginning of the big numbers. Last week was strong, 116,000 for Nintendo Switch, 118,000 for PS5, its debut week. But now we're looking at we're heading into pre-Black Friday, which even though it was typically an American holiday, is kind of being felt worldwide. So with Black Friday, with Cyber Monday, the rest of the world, they kind of fall in line and stick to that celebration despite not celebrating Thanksgiving. They celebrate the other two most of the time, most countries. So this week we're looking at 179,000 Nintendo Switch, which is almost neck and neck exactly with what it was last year for this same week. It also brings the life to date to 16.2 million. PS5 at 42,000, a pretty harsh drop, but it's also almost sold out. So what the stock is being sold out. So pretty good for Sony. Xbox Series consoles, including X and S, was at 3,684. You know, you're always going to see this gap between PS5 and Xbox. But what I hope on the Xbox side is that it does a lot better than Xbox One did last generation. PS4 at 2,700, 3DS at 588, and the original Xbox One at 29. See, Xbox One's life to date in Japan over those 7 years was only 114,000. So the fact that the Xbox Series platforms is at 24,000, well, it's a decent start. You know, it's a fifth of what, you know, more or less than what Xbox One did, but you know, can it even hit 1 million? That would be great. That would be a milestone breaker for Microsoft. So hopefully. And over here you see the breakdown of, you know, PS5 physical, digital, Xbox Series S and X, but I mostly focus on these. Interesting data overall, and that's going to do it for sales talk. But the final thing to talk about, I actually saved this for last because it's pretty big and kind of out of nowhere news. This comes to us from blotter.net. It's an exclusive, and I thought I'd share it, but you could go to their website for the full article, but I'm going to go over it right now. They're saying that apparently the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince, Prince Mohamed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz al-Saud, has acquired SNK, the developer of the King of Fighters franchise. It's a pretty big deal, and it looks like this acquisition is going to be complete as of January 2021. Unexpected news, but definitely pretty big. This is coming to us, like I said, from a Korean website. I'm actually not familiar with blotter.net, and if you read the report a little more, like I said, you could go to their site for the majority of it, but EGDC is the company that's acquiring SNK, and Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz al-Saud is the primary owner of this corporation. So, by extent, Saudi's crown prince will be the owner of SNK. Kind of wild. Let's hope that he's a big gamer and cares about the video game industry and does some awesome things with the franchise. It will be interesting to see if anything changes when future partnerships are in a consideration between, you know, Nintendo and SNK for Terry Bogard to be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Will SNK, under new ownership, be bringing out more fighting games more often? Hard to say. Like I said, the rest of the article is over there, but I thought I would share it. And I guess that's going to do it for video game news. Let me know what you thought today. What do you think of Saudi Arabia's crown prince seemingly purchasing SNK? Are you excited? Are you worried? I think if it's somebody that's passionate about the video game industry, if the company that he owns that is acquiring SNK loves video games and is good for global distribution of it and continuing with famous IPs and bringing out new stuff, hey, that's all good. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Let me know what you think of Pokemon. Are you excited for the 25th anniversary next year? What do you think of PlayStation's sales? Pretty wild, right? And what do you think about Japan's sales? You know, Japan's a very different place, and in particular, that's going to be the case this generation, Gen 9 of gaming. You're going to see similar levels of PlayStation to Xbox in the rest of the world, but I think closer this time than it was during the PS4 versus Xbox One days. I think these two are going to be closer to each other this time around. Japan, though, Xbox is still going to be way down, but should be better than it was before. PlayStation 5, I also think it's going to be the reverse. I think it's not going to do as well as PS4 long term. It's a very big system. Japan's not a big fan of big systems. And if you're looking at the lineup in like the first year, Final Fantasy 16 might come out in Japan, which will be a heavy seller. Looks like Resident Evil 8 will, but it's also a pretty expensive platform. And Japan is pretty much being dominated by Nintendo right now, and people are so satisfied with the Nintendo Switch ecosystem that I think Japan's going to look like this for Nintendo, this for Sony, and this for Microsoft. Hard to say though. The rest of the world's going to be a little bit more even. You're going to see some neutrality in a lot of territories. You'll still have, some countries flock towards PlayStation, some flock to Xbox, some are Nintendo dominated, but it's going to be really intriguing to see who's the winner. I always say though that if you're gaming on any platform, you're kind of winning already. If you have all three, more power to you. Oh, and in the not too distant future, I will be doing a review on the Nintendo Switch Pro controller and how it stacks up against the Xbox Series X controller and the PlayStation 5 controller, weighing in the cost of the three, functionality, battery life, cool features, precision, personal impressions on the controls, button placements, overall texture satisfaction, and so forth. From my experience so far, obviously I've been using the Nintendo Switch Pro controller for the longest because these two guys just came out within the last couple of weeks, and this I've had for close to 4 years. But so far, nope, no complaints from the two new ones. But like I said, that's a little sneak peek of what's to come later. I'll be giving a deeper dive breakdown, and maybe it'll help you decide, hey, I'm kind of neutral on which platform to get. I actually don't have a Switch or either of the other two. Which one should I get of these three based off of the controls? Because the games are kind of similar across the board for me. If that's you and this controller breakdown helps, hey, that'll be something nice for you all. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving once again. This is Paul Gale Network signing out. I appreciate you all watching. Thank you. Hope you have a great day and have a nice weekend too. Take care. Bye.